They broke records, shattered defenses, and became icons. But even the greatest legends walked away empty-handed from the World Cup. They've won everything: Ballon d'Ors, Champions Leagues, league titles, yet that one golden dream always slipped away. The roar of the crowd, the glory of the cup, it was so close, but destiny said no. These are the football kings who ruled the world, but never conquered the World Cup. Let's talk about 8 football giants who never lifted the trophy. Lionel Messi, before 2022. Lionel Messi, the magician himself, couldn't touch that golden cup. The world watched as he carried Argentina on his shoulders in 2014, dribbling past defenders, creating moments of pure genius. Every touch, every pass, every goal felt like destiny calling his name, but in the end, it wasn't enough. One final, one step away. Then came Germany, and with Mario Götze's strike, the dream shattered into silence. For years, that empty space in his cabinet haunted him, the one trophy the world thought he'd never win. That 2014 World Cup final was one of the most heartbreaking moments for every Messi fan around the world. Cristiano Ronaldo, a man who conquered Europe, lifted the Champions League 5 times, and shattered every record that stood before him. High voltage. From Manchester to Madrid, from Turin to Portugal, everywhere he went, trophies followed. But on the World Cup stage, destiny had a different plan. He fought with fire, carried Portugal with pride, and gave everything for his nation, yet the world's biggest prize always slipped through his fingers. There were moments of brilliance: that hat-trick against Spain in 2018, the roar, the passion, pure Ronaldo. But no matter how high he soared, the golden trophy remained just out of reach. For his fans, it's the greatest what if in football history, the king who ruled the game but never the world. Cristiano Ronaldo's fans, it's one of the saddest realities in football. He gave everything: passion, power, discipline, and still, the World Cup dream slipped away. They called him a genius, Johan Cruyff, the man who changed football forever. He didn't just play the game, he reinvented it. Total football, a style built around intelligence, teamwork, and beauty, all born from his mind. In 1974, he led the Netherlands to their first ever World Cup final. The world watched in awe. The orange shirts danced, passed, and moved like poetry in motion. But fate had other plans. West Germany struck back, and Cruyff's dream of lifting the golden trophy vanished under the stadium lights. He gave the world a new vision of football, yet never touched the crown himself. For his fans, it wasn't just a loss. It was the day when art was defeated by power. The master of football's beauty, remembered not for what he won, but for how he played. Here comes the Zico, the White Pelé, Brazil's magician of the 1980s. With every touch, every pass, every free kick, he brought joy to millions. His vision, his grace, pure samba on the pitch. He led one of the most beautiful Brazilian sides ever, a team built on creativity, rhythm, and passion. But beauty doesn't always win battles. In 1982, Brazil played football like a dream, yet the dream was shattered by Italy. Zico gave everything: sweat, heart, and magic, but the golden trophy slipped through his hands. He was born to create, not to conquer, and even without the World Cup, he remains one of football's purest souls. For his fans, the pain still lingers, a reminder that sometimes even the greatest artists never get their masterpiece. Here comes George Best, the man who made football look effortless. A rock star in boots, with the face of a movie star and the soul of a street footballer. His dribbles were poetry, his goals were magic. Defenders feared him, fans adored him. But for all his brilliance, fate dealt him a cruel hand. Born in Northern Ireland, a small nation with a big heart, but without the team to match his greatness. The World Cup stage never saw his shine, never felt his genius. For his fans, that's the saddest part. The world witnessed a legend, but the World Cup never did. A man too gifted for his time, a flame that burned too bright, too fast. George Best, the greatest player who never got his world stage. Some players are born to score goals, but Paolo Maldini was born to stop them. Elegant, unbreakable. the Italian wall who made defending look like an art form. For more than 2 decades, he wore the blue of Italy with pride, leading by example, never by words. 4 World Cups. 1 final. A lifetime of excellence. Yet, the one trophy he deserved most, the World Cup, never came his way. In 1994, he came so close, only for heartbreak to strike in the final against Brazil. Still, he never complained. Never gave up. His class spoke louder than his medals. For Maldini's fans, it wasn't the World Cup that defined him. It was his loyalty, his legacy, and his love for the game. The captain who never lifted the world, but carried football's soul with honor. He called himself a lion, and the world believed him. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, fearless, confident, unstoppable. From Amsterdam to Milan, from Paris to Manchester, he conquered every league, every defense, every challenge that stood in his way. His goals were pure art. Bicycle kicks, volleys, rockets from nowhere. But even a lion has limits, and Zlatan's came on the World Cup stage. Sweden fought hard, but destiny never gave him the chance to roar on the biggest field of all. No finals, no World Cup glory, just a dream left unfinished. Yet, for his fans, Zlatan never needed a trophy to prove his greatness. His confidence, his charisma, his power were his legacy. A lion doesn't need a crown, because he was born a king. He was elegance in motion, Luís Figo, Portugal's golden boy. With a ball at his feet, he danced past defenders like wind through waves. From Barcelona to Real Madrid, he ruled Europe, a Ballon d'Or winner, a captain, a magician. But even with all his glory, one dream always stayed out of reach: the World Cup. In 2006, he came so close, leading Portugal to the semi-finals, carrying the hope of a nation. But the fairy tale ended before the final whistle, and the Golden Cup slipped away once more. Still, Figo's name shines in football history, not for what he missed, but for what he gave. Spirit. Legacy. The man who didn't need the World Cup to prove he was world-class. Legends may fall, but their stories live forever. If you felt the emotion behind their journey, like this video, subscribe, and keep the spirit of football alive.